Hey everyone, this is Meloh and I'm going to give you a behind the scenes look at Outside. I'll just start by saying what inspired the song. I was actually editing a song and felt like there needed to be an outro to it. Well, this is a sort of befuddled start, isn't it? But that's how this song came about. Is it was kind of like a befuddled, this sounds cool. How can I twist it and fuck it up? Oh, this is beautiful. How can I mess this up? That's kind of my life. So I just did that, and I liked what happened. So what I'm trying to say here, without being so cryptic, is that I took a little bit of the song that I was working on and I made a new song out of it. The part that I took from the song is pretty much just this part. Mixed with the drums from that part. And I guess the bass and the acoustic guitar. I just looped it. So what I was doing is I accidentally looped one bar of that previous song, and I was like, oh, that is a vibe. That is a mood, rather. I overused the word vibe. I want to get out of that. That is a mood, though. That's a cool mood, and I want to emphasize that. So I was really inspired by that. All it takes is just a little bar of inspiration. I'm not talking about a Xanax. I'm not talking about an acid. Is there even bars of that? That would be a lot of acid. Just takes a little bit for inspiration to happen. And so that is what came first in the song. And then the lyrics were just, I wanted it to be darker than the previous song before that. I mean, the lyrics in the previous one are kind of dark if you think about it too, but like these ones are a little bit more obviously dark. Depending on how you take it, you could take it however you want to take it. I'm not telling you how to take it. And this was all going to be like heavily produced vocals. As you can see, like I have a bunch of plugins on this hook track here. A lot of them aren't really effects that are going to be done to the voice itself, other than like stereo imaging and volume and compression. But there's a bit of distortion with the saturation plugin here, and voices is the heaviest one that I use, and that is what gives it this sound here. So if I take this off, and then it goes into that. And I wanted it to actually, I wanted the whole song to, I was thinking, I should say, the whole song would be kind of like that with like the heavily produced vocals. And then I was like, I don't know though, I kind of want there to be some like vulnerability in there. And so that's when this, that's when the verse came in, and it was, just my voice and no crazy pitching effects with the vocals. But then I also wanted to hear what it sounded like with, without the pitched effects. And for some reason in this version, I had a couple different versions of this where I got rid of a bunch of tracks to clean up the session because it had a whole nother song in it. So I was just like cleaning up, and some edits may have gotten lost in translation, or they're just in another version that I can't seem to find. But this one is the closest to like what the final version was. I don't even really notice anything different other than right here when it was supposed to go to the natural vocal in the third hook. Nobody wants it still has that effect, as you can hear. So I just am gonna put a bypass on it. And if you want to learn how to bypass that effect and just that effect, you go to hit that drop down arrow, go to Nectar 4 VO, which is voices, and go out to bypass. That's the global bypass of the entire plugin itself. And then what you can do is click Command on that little edge there. So I want to, right where this comes back in, right at this middle part here, that's where I want the bypass to come back off. So hit Command, whoops, son of a, Command, there, let go, click there, and then bring this, it'll just drag it up. And then what I probably am gonna have to do is decrease the volume. I'm gonna do it by 6 dB, and see how this sounds. Let's get a little bit of a head start here. Cool. So yeah, see how it sounded like if I didn't give it that 6 dB reduction, it would have sounded too loud because the effects, the voice plugins. This is really just for the nerds out there. I'm not expecting you, like, you know, just average, you regular normal people to understand what I'm talking about. Nah, but this is just for the nerds, really. So you know what I mean. It would sound louder if I didn't do that, because I don't know why, because the effects make it quieter, like seem quieter. So they would have been a little bit too upfront in the mix. So anyways, that was that little bit. And a little sparkly part I wanted to point out is this acoustic guitar here. I don't even remember where this came from, but I like the way, I like how this added to the mix. It's this little thing. I'm gonna play it back here so it doesn't clip. I have no idea what that came from, but I like the texture that it adds in here. Nobody wants to survive this round. I'm gonna try to feel. You can't, like, you can't even really hear it, but you can feel it. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by texture. Like it's there, and that, especially that little sparkly thing, you can't really hear in the mix, but like it's there, you know? So anyways, what does outside mean? If you want me to really define it for you, I will. It means not inside, right? Not in my head is really what I was inspired to like write about, and also just not in this world. I was writing about a dark place in life where obviously I didn't want to be alive, but like, you know, we've all thought that before, that you don't really quite want to be here. But what you do is you just get it out somehow, and I get it out through music. And I understood that when I wrote the lyric. It's like I know a lot of people have felt that before, so it's not like I'm special for thinking that or feeling that. And sometimes it feels like you're so alone in thinking something like that or feeling something like that, but you just got to get your head out of your ass, because there's so many other people feeling like that. And it's not like you have the burden of having to empathize with them, but just like, you know, realize that you're not alone, and you're not actually alone. But if you do want to be alone, then maybe just like take some more solitude for yourself, and that's your answer. That's really it. And it's no problem to take some solitude time for yourself, but you know, just don't cut yourself off. So anyways, back to the song. You know, it's just about wanting something exciting, wanting that edge of something. Maybe, you know, you're bored being so alone, or something like that. Yeah. So that's what that means to me. It can mean whatever it means to you, though. I'm curious if you guys found anything else that it might mean to you. Feel free to comment your most darkest, vulnerable secrets to me in the comment section below, and the rest of the world who decides to watch this video and look at the comments. Yeah, let me know if you want if there's any nerds out there. I doubt any of my early listeners will be like, oh yeah, show me how you did the compression on that. I want to see how much dBs of compression you have on there, and what's the ratio that you're using. Oh, and what threshold do you put it at, and how much attack and release do you have for your bass or your guitars or your drums. I would love to answer those questions if you really want me to, but I don't think my current audience is going to be quite interested in that, in all the technical stuff. But I would definitely dive into what I'm doing technically. I love it. I love explaining. When I know something, I like to explain it. Otherwise, like if it's, when I think I know, not when I know something, but more so when I know something about myself and want to explain why I like the way I do the things, not necessarily I know certain facts or something. I don't really care to share factual things or explain factual things. That's not my vibe. I like to explain if people are curious in my brain and how it works in the music world. So I would love to, but also cool not doing it either. More time for other music activities. So yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate ya. Peace. Oh, wait, whatever. This part's not going to be in the mic, but you can find my merch at Meloh-shop- no, Meloh-cane-shop.fourthwall.com. I know it's a lot. I'll get my own website soon enough, but for now you're gonna have to bear with me. There's merch out, and you can buy merch there. This is one of the merches. This is a logo that I designed myself that I really dig, and a little BTS on the logo. I just like put letters together and made them look cool. That's really it. And I like how they look. I'm not trying to be a cultural appropriator or anything, but I like how it kind of looks like a foreign language symbol or character or something like that. Like you can't really read the English letters in it, and it's like a different language of some sort, and I feel like I speak a different language sometimes, especially in my music and in my head, so it's very on brand with who I am, hence why it's my brand and why it's my logo and stuff. So if you like it, go check it out. I'll put up some type of a thing here. So yeah, thank you. Peace.